Hello and welcome to the episode 2 of the go-kart build. Now, last episode, if you watched it all the way to the end, I understand why you wouldn't because of the quality of the video. Instead of welding some more of the frame, I have decided to tackle the most precise thing on the build. This is our problem. I was very lucky with the bolt pattern on this to fit the sprocket that will go on. It's just on 4 of the bolts of the original sprocket, which is actually plastic. And first of all, a plastic sprocket with so small teeth, I don't think will be able to withstand the power of the 110. A few of the teeth have actually come off. But whatever engine was on this, the plastic sprocket hasn't even held the power of that. So now whoever designed this, I don't even know if there's a word for such incompetence. Seriously, a plastic sprocket on a vehicle that's built to race, you know. I don't think I can totally get my head around that. Almost. There you go. Ow. Yep, that's blood. What an idiot. I'll be right back. Right I'm in my garage getting hammered. I better get. Don't know if you can see this, but you know, ouch. This is a real pain in the arse. I have no idea why I ever started building this fucking project. Now it's that point of the project where I start doubting myself. Alright, you're almost off, just get the fuck off. There you go. I'm not sure about the bearings. Ideally, while I have the axle apart, I should change them. There doesn't seem to be any play, but you know, they are loud. Well, obviously you can't have the bolts here, because that's where the chain will be. So we have to find out some kind of piece here that adapts that's there. Now I was thinking if I could find something that is perfect size to just go on top of here, with essentially the same hole size as this, a pipe or something. And what I found, it is a camshaft pulley of the 626, the Mazda FE4J engine. Yes, that's the one. Well, it doesn't quite fit because that's in the way. could just go with a slight modifying touch. Get the angle grinder, cut it to bits. Not exactly. It's very close. And there you have it. Long M6 bolts. That's about good. And some M8s to hold that on that. So I'm essentially going to sandwich this, have all those in place. And then hopefully I'll just weld the M8 bolts in place. Now, there you have it, essentially in one piece, apart from two problems. I need to get rid of this, and I need to get rid of the bolts that are holding it in place. So, have to get out the welder . Yeah. Right, moment of truth. Will the bolts be in place? And there you have it. Now I'm thinking about some kind of slight reinforcement, because obviously that will be receiving quite a good amount of torque at some point. So, you know, just a few spot welds won't hold in place. So these are the pieces that I have also made my engine mount out of, and essentially I'll be cutting it in half lengthwise on the shorter side, and I shall have some pieces of metal. Well, essentially I'll just get out the angle grinder and just start making bits that shall fit. That's cold. Some welding, grinding and a final sand later, this is what I have. Now it's not beautiful, especially from the inside, but you know, I reckon it shall do. Now there is a slight issue with bolting a small sprocket onto something that's nearly the same size. Now this is a rather loose old chain, just for demonstration purposes. This is not how chain should do. It hits, well, it's quite a loose chain, so it sits nice and even, but you know, it sort of hits that from there. Now there is 3 solutions for this. One is get a bigger sprocket, which is not an option right now because I don't have any money. Second option is to put some spacers in between. Might consider that. The third option is to sand or grind just enough from there. But then that would mean I would have to make some reinforcement inside. And there's always the option of just ignore it until it causes problems, but everybody knows that's not wise. However, what I am going to do for now is ignore it and start to concentrate on come on, it fitted just a while ago. There you go. Concentrating on bolting this to this. Now, why not just directly weld? Well, first problem is this is aluminium. Second problem is the tightener that tightens this to the axle is sort of inside. The bolt goes here. So if it's on the inside, it's not very easily accessible. So yes, first this goes on the axle and then this. Yes. Now, how I'm going to bolt this is essentially a bolt and nuts. However, because the teeth aren't equal all around, actually they almost are. Now that it sits like so. Huh. So you're telling me a while ago when I was testing they didn't sit nicely, but now they do. So it appears the amount of teeth on this is divisible by 6. So I just had to make sure all the gaps hit the holes, or rather all the holes hit a gap. And then I got these hex bolts like so. careful. A adapter. Now, test run to see if it rotates smoothly. Suddenly it fits nicely. Well, no wonder it suddenly fits nicely, because it's on the wrong way around. Yeah, there's still some issues with them bolts. Not entirely happy with that. Not entirely happy with that. It could be that some measurement has gone wrong here, or it could just be a simple issue as the bolts move a little in the hole. Have to look into that. But otherwise this is good. Right, now, last couple of days I have done nothing to the go-kart because I have been working on someone else's car. Because obviously I'm a car mechanic, so you can fix my car for free right now. So yes, last time I was working on it, I figured out that the sprocket wobbles a bit. After looking into it a bit, it is because of the axle or something. And I also found better bolts for it. But yeah, there's still a few things I have to figure out now, which is the spacer. Some time ago I threw a chair off a balcony. Any last requests? Because it was a broken chair, and because some of the parts were metal, I decided to scavenge the metal parts. This is nice and solid metal. About, the centrepiece is probably 8mm thick. This is about 3. Actually, I'm going to measure it. It's always good to say it's about that much, but then you can always measure it. It is 3mm thick. Because of a slight curve here, I reckon 3mm is enough spacing for the chain. And if it isn't, I'll just build a thicker one. But for now, this is what I have, so this is what I'll use. I shall cut a piece out of this. Man, that is dusty. That is disgusting. Think about, this has been under a chair in our house. Right, a couple of hours later I have cut the piece I need out of cardboard, the little face, and painted it onto a piece of steel, and realised I have nothing to drill the hole in with it. Now I remember that I had a step drill, but after a couple of hours looking for it, I found these instead. 16 washers. Right, assembly time. Yes, that's the hub. That comes at the end, so that goes last. That's the bearing, that goes about there. But instead of having the sprocket here, we'll have it somewhere here. So essentially, that goes on first. As we haven't decided to place, well, the floor is apparently the place. No place has been decided on where it goes yet. Therefore, I will not be bolting it on. That went on nicely. And then we have to put that sort of in its place. Ow. Let's see. I had a specific position for this due to one bolt is longer because I couldn't find the bolts. So essentially we want to put it somewhere where it doesn't interfere with these. I reckon there. And for now it shall be held on with just regular nuts. This was rather tricky to get off. Actually, I'll need to have that small nut thingy out for now so I can see the hole going in place. There. Just a gentle hammer will go right through it. Now that's the wrong side. Or maybe just sideways. Now what? be spot on pretty much. And there you have it. Always remember to put that on first, obviously. And then on goes the other side. Just put the bolts on to ease putting it back together. And then finally on goes this hub. And that went on nice and easy, apart from I can't remember. You know what? That's why we have the other one still in place. So we measure that's 15 millimeters. Yes. Now we essentially tighten it. Double check because I moved it. And that's 6, which has disappeared from here. So yeah, it's 10 millimeters. And just to triple check. Yes, it's held in place. And now it moved. And shit, man. It's not tight enough. Oh dear. Such tightening. Now it's tapping onto something. Just stay there, okay? I'm happy with that. And 5th check. Yes. Just a bit more tightening, you know. Just the bits. I'll just slap that back in place. Hang on. Goes there. There you go. And there you have it. The problem we have here, according to a quick few measurements, I have measured from here, and the same on the engine. Hang on, quick peek here. Yeah, the chain is supposedly about 3 centimeters from here that way. Quickly eyeballing it, makes the sprocket supposed to be here. You know what? To finish this off, some grinding and replacement welding is required. However, I have realised I have over 2.5 hours of footage at this point. So, stay tuned for the next episode where I will be hopefully finishing off the rear axle, and I'll have to put the engine in place to have a look at things.